That's our life savings.
Your money gone in an instant.
They gave me an error message that card didn't work, so I tried another card.
Scammers preying on your worst fears.
It's not just seniors and elderly that are getting scammed. I mean, these guys were good.
I'm John Matarese. Thanks for joining us for a Don't Waste Your Money special. The next target, top scams of 2024. You know, all year long, I talk to everyday people who unknowingly, unexpectedly give up their personal information and money to scammers. It's devastating and it wreaks havoc on thousands of families. So we hope the next half hour makes you more aware of the scams targeting you. First up, a snapshot of what we're up against.
Let's be clear, every single one of us is a target of frauds and scams.
In the most recent government data, people reported losing $10 billion to scams. That's the highest loss reported in a single year.
We're a little too loose with our names and addresses, but it's considered personally identifiable information and it's protected in a lot of cases. So as individuals, we need to kind of think about that a little bit more.
Imposter scams, online shopping fraud, fake job opportunities, and investment scams among the most reported schemes.
80% of people who report scams to Scam Tracker about investment scams lose their money.
Now AI is making scams even harder to detect.
We're getting very close to the point where you and I are on Zoom, and honestly, there is a day very close where you won't be able to know if it's actually me talking to you. We're almost there.
Bank impersonation is just one way that scammers try to get a hold of your money. Well, I spoke with one woman who lost her life savings after one phone call. Christy Taylor answered the phone when the caller ID showed her bank's number.
Of course, when it showed up, I answered it.
The caller claimed the bank found a fraudulent withdrawal, so
He said, no, you need to take your money out and transfer it and put it in another bank.
she says the caller instructed her to transfer her funds, almost $10,000, onto a prepaid debit card. She says she gave the caller the new card number, and by the time she took her money to another bank, Christy says her funds were gone.
How much money did you transfer onto that card?
$9,600. I'm like, oh my God, I just got scammed out of a lot of money.
It used to be the case that a phone call had a lot more legitimacy than an email message. That's not true anymore. They are equally likely to be scams.
Zulfikar Ramzan is with the digital safety company Aura.
These messages will often have a call to action saying that if you don't do these particular steps, then this bad event will happen.
Instead of engaging with the caller, he says call your bank directly using the number on the back of your debit card. We contacted Christy's bank, which says it's unable to help since Christy withdrew the money herself. Christy says she can't prove she was scammed, but she knows the money is gone.
That's our life savings.
Scroll through your recent text messages and emails, and you'll probably come across an impersonation scam. What's more alarming, the agency impersonated the most is one that stops by your house almost every day. Anne LaRoe is an avid shopper and gets several packages a week delivered to her Victorian home.
I order a ton of things.
So when she received a text message from the Postal Service about a problem with a recent delivery, she paid attention.
Saying that my package was delayed due to an incorrect address. And it had the logo and it looked very official. And then in the back of my mind, I heard your voice. Warning so many times about scammers.
The U.S. Postal Service was the top impersonated organization of 2023, according to the Better Business Bureau. Following the USPS's top impersonation spot was Amazon, Publishers Clearinghouse, Geek Squad, and Norton. The Federal Trade Commission received more than 330,000 reports of business impersonation scams and nearly 160,000 government impersonation scams. And while scams that start with a phone call are going down, fraud in the form of email and text messages are up. Another trend to watch out for, fake subscription renewals, where criminals fish for your info by posing as a recognized company.
I got Netflix, your subscription is expired. That puts people in a panic.
Instead, the BBB says go directly to your account to check your renewal status and always keep track of deliveries and auto-renewal payments. The Postal Inspection Service states on its website that USPS will not send customers text messages or emails unless you sign up for a tracking request.
I think a lot of people would click on it without even a second thought.
Car ownership is pricey enough, but scammers have come up with new ways to cash in on your cars. One of them that we noticed in 2024 was to get you to pay outstanding tolls that you don't really owe.
We drove 3,000 miles in one trip.
Holly Palello is one of the millions of road warriors traveling this year. She says when she and her husband returned home from Florida, they were surprised by a toll-related email.
It just said something about a sun pass from Florida.
Know if it's legitimate or not?
No.
Just don't know.
No, we'll call and find out.
Since early March, the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center has received more than 2,000 complaints about fake texts from senders claiming to be a toll collection service. Texts that may look like this FBI example. The toll program out of Florida, SunPass, has also warned customers about the phishing scam, saying in an email, please note that SunPass does not ask customers via text to make a payment or take immediate action on their account. Palello says she'll do some digging to find out whether the email she received is legit.
We paid our tolls as we went through, so don't know what's going to happen.
I put about 20,000 miles a year.
Henry Dorfman is a kayaking guide who drives across the country. So this email offering up a free car emergency kit was appealing.
They say, well, take the survey and we're going to send you this big auto emergency kit you can carry in your trunk.
He took the survey and gave his credit card information to cover postage.
They gave me an error message that card didn't work, so I tried another card.
A second card and a second error message. Henry realized the email was not really from AAA.
Email is from is AAA customer service. But if you drill down, then you find,
We reached out to the Auto Club, which says it's aware of fraudulent texts and emails, such as the one on your screen, branded as AAA. The messages may congratulate you for winning a car emergency kit or having an expiring offer for one. A spokesperson advises all recipients not to open or click any links and delete these messages immediately. The Better Business Bureau and AAA say check email addresses and web addresses for irregular spacing or unusual characters, and never click links in unexpected messages you didn't sign up for. After finding fraudulent charges, Henry had to cancel both his credit cards and get new ones.
I'm still kicking myself over it, yeah.
Classic 4x4s are the hottest thing in the classic car market right now.
Matt Milbrandt owns a classic car dealership, selling everything from vintage Chevy Blazers to classic Corvettes and Mustangs.
That one's got 729 miles on it.
Lately, he's been the target of scam artists.
They cut off the watermark in all of our photos and essentially steal our entire website.
Matt says photos and descriptions of his beautiful cars are showing up on copycat sites where scammers get buyers to send deposits of $1,000 or more.
So that's happened to us twice this year, as in 2024.
He says it works because scammers list much lower prices.
They entice people by having a very cheap price to seem like it's a good deal.
The Better Business Bureau finds scammers are increasingly using fake listings on legitimate marketplaces to target high-end buyers of rare classic cars, the majority of victims being 45 and older.
That generation has the income now to go after that classic car they've always wanted.
Scammers may also use a fake escrow company to hold the money while the vehicle is supposedly being shipped.
When in turn, they haven't purchased anything and they've just lost the money.
The Better Business Bureau recommends you never send money using a payment service like Zelle or Venmo, and always see a vehicle in person. Out of state, ask the seller to do a FaceTime chat with you in front of the car.
FaceTime is a nice little piece of insurance to walk around and you see it in real time.
That way you know there really is a car for sale and you don't waste your money. One of the big consumer stories of 2024 was the global CrowdStrike outage that impacted millions of computers, you might remember. Well, as people searched for answers, it was another opportunity for scammers to strike.
We know the scammers are following the headlines.
From airlines and hospitals to small businesses, the CrowdStrike tech outage shut down millions of devices. Amy Nofziger from AARP's Fraud Watch network worries about scammers cashing in on the meltdown.
Scammers will contact people pretending to be doing a good deed and pretending to be your, computer company and saying, hey, you heard about CrowdStrike, we can help you.
Stephanie Golden and Jennifer Jansen fell victim to classic tech support scams in the past, where criminals pretend to fix computer problems but steal money instead.
After a malware attack, Golden says a fake Apple customer service representative told her to buy iTunes gift cards to make repairs.
I listened because they make you feel so scared, like your emotions kind of take over.
Jansen says scammers requested remote access to her computer, a huge red flag.
I let them go into my computer where they could actually do everything from inside my computer.
That's where scammers scoop up your information. So how do you protect yourself? According to AARP, never call phone numbers that appear in pop-ups. Ignore unsolicited calls, emails, or texts telling you there's a problem with your devices. When in doubt, shut your devices down.
They want to get you frenzied and worried that your computer is at risk.
Friends reaching out to you on social media may not really be your friends at all. Coming up, we have a warning about hacked accounts and how easy it is to be tricked. You're watching a Don't Waste Your Money special, The Next Target.
Gift card scams are happening all across the country. This has now become an organized crime. It's not a little mom and pop operation in most cases. When they arrest these people, they find them with hundreds, if not thousands, of gift cards that they're in the process of tampering with.
That's the consumer man Herb Weisbaum on the rise of gift card fraud, which 73 million Americans have experienced.
I don't buy cards retail anymore because I am aware of the risk, and I have no idea whether I'm buying a card that has been compromised.
Well, despite many companies bringing employees back to the office over the last year, a lot of workers still prefer to spend more time working remotely, which explains why scammers are targeting victims with fake work-from-home jobs.
After almost 10 years, I was laid off from my remote position.
Deb Kovacs Sturdivant unexpectedly found herself in need of work, so she jumped on LinkedIn and other job hunting sites and found a perfect position.
A business operations manager. They are a legitimate company. They have a website. I checked out, their CEO's name.
Best of all, she could do it at home.
You have been selected to work with me starting this week.
But her first assignment confused her. It was to cash a check.
He said that an associate of his would be sending me a check for $2,400. When I receive the check and deposit it, I'm to notify him.
The company's name was legit, but the job offer was not. In June, the FBI issued this warning about fake work-from-home jobs, saying they typically involve a relatively simple task. The agency says scammers pose as a legitimate business and contact victims through an unsolicited call or message. Tony Frana with FlexJob says it's normal for recruiters to reach out on LinkedIn.
The difference is a recruiter is going to work for an organization and their email address is likely going to have their company name in the .com sections.
But she says watch out for
grammatical errors and an extreme sense of urgency.
Deb says she can see people who are desperate cashing this check.
Then they're going to take advantage of them. That's just awful.
This fall, Taylor Swift brought her Eras Tour back to the U.S., which meant fans everywhere trying to snag some tickets. But one man learned the hard way, you can't trust sellers on social media, even if that seller appears to be your friend.
I was looking at tickets for my wife and stepdaughter for Taylor Swift.
Jeremy Robinson wanted to surprise his stepdaughter with a pair of tickets to the U.S. return of the Eras Tour,
whose page popped up that said they had available tickets for face value.
With resale sites showing tickets for $2,000 and up, it was an offer he couldn't refuse.
He asked for $400 a piece for the tickets.
He transferred $800 through a money transfer service to a bank account provided by the seller. Within minutes, his money was gone.
And then everything was blocked and Facebook page was deleted and post taken down.
This scam goes beyond just concert tickets, with hackers pretending to sell game consoles and more, all at very low prices. So how does a hacker suddenly show up as a friend on Facebook? Chris Drake with the company iConnective says anyone's credentials can be exposed while using public Wi-Fi, for example.
A sophisticated scammer can connect to you and steal your cookies. Now they have the cookie storage of your username and passwords to a lot of things, including Facebook.
Red flags of a hacked account include spelling errors, hearing from someone unexpectedly, strange posts on a friend's wall, and a sender asking you to move the conversation from Facebook to another platform. Facebook encourages all users to report fake or hacked accounts in the Facebook Help Center. A simple solution, though, call your friend to verify their Facebook post was real. When Jeremy did that, he learned his friend's page had been hacked.
We weren't the first people that got scammed off his page with the Taylor Swift incident.
Just like an expensive concert ticket to see your favorite music act, scammers know that people will pay big money to support their favorite sports team. Well, since so many of us watch football over the holidays, we're looking at how to avoid getting duped by fake jerseys and other counterfeit merchandise that floods the market.
It's all about representation, right? You got to rep.
The only thing certain during a football season is fans everywhere willing to spend big bucks for team merch.
You want the authentic stuff. Everybody always wants the real thing.
I want real NFL stuff, so I'll make sure that it's legit.
But it's easy to fall for fakes thanks to low prices on social media ads.
$39.90.
Sporting goods store owner Greg Cook says he sees cheap counterfeits all over the web.
This is not a licensed jersey. This is a fake.
Cook says don't assume that just because it has NFL tags and logos, it's the real thing.
You'll see this Nike hang tag on the fake. You'll see the NFL Players Association tag.
I'll see that on
the fake
jersey. To protect yourself, he says buy from a reputable local store or an authorized website like NFL Shop or Fanatics. Looking for something even more special like a signed helmet or jersey? We reached out to Alex Crayons, owner of the sports memorabilia company Auction of Champions.
The authentication is the biggest part when it comes to buying an autographed piece of memorabilia. So we take care of the authentication for anybody that sends in an item on consignment that's not already authenticated. We're not going to sell anything that's not properly authenticated.
Remember, legitimate sports gear is expensive.
I'd spend $200, you know? I think it's just all about what they mean to you.
For a good jersey throwback, I'm willing to go up to about $200.
If that's what you're after, don't be tempted by lower priced fakes, and that way you don't waste your money.
Just ahead on this Don't Waste Your Money special, a father gets a terrifying call saying his daughter was in trouble. What made the call so believable and what stopped him from handing over thousands of dollars. You're watching The Next Target.
Some people like to just mess with the bad actors whenever they call. Don't do that because you don't want them to record your voice, because we're starting to see voices being recorded. Doesn't take that many words to get an AI relatively cheaply to mimic someone, and then they use that to call customer support at financial institutions trying to find out where you have accounts, and they can, with a certain degree of accuracy, impersonate you.
That's Steve Earls with ID Shield and why you should never engage with potential scammers on the phone.
Now, a decades-old scam is evolving thanks to social media and AI. Virtual kidnappers are using recordings and online posts to appear more realistic than ever before, and even the most tech-savvy people are falling for it.
Kevin David owns an appliance shop and is a doting father when he's not busy selling kitchen items. But recently, his world came crashing down when he received a terrifying call from his daughter, Brooke.
It was Brooke's voice. It started out very calm and slow.
Then the voice on the other end became hysterical.
Like I couldn't even understand anything else she was saying.
David says a man got on the phone.
He goes, we've got Brooke, and she's in the back of my car right now.
He wanted $5,000 wired to him, or he would hurt Brooke. Luckily, a coworker saw what was going on and called Brooke directly. She was at school, perfectly safe.
They had her voice, they had her name.
The FBI has issued warnings about virtual kidnapping scams, saying social media has really changed the game.
They might be targeting someone that they might think has
more access to money, right? And so then they're going to that grandchild's page or that child's page in that case.
Amy Knopfziger with AARP's Fraud Watch Network says if you ever get a call asking to pay ransom for a kidnapping, stay calm, take a breath, and listen for clues that you're dealing with a scam.
They're going to ask for money in a prepaid gift card. They're going to direct the victim to go to a crypto ATM machine.
Also, try calling or texting your relative directly. Brooke can see how her dad fell for the call.
You don't even question it at first because you're like, well, this is my kid.
These guys were good.
Artificial intelligence is coming to all sorts of devices, from phones to laptops. And as you're about to see, a lot of consumers are embracing this new technology, but others worry that AI is going to make it tougher to identify a potential scam.
If you have mixed feelings about AI, you're not alone.
It might help out, maybe not, I don't know, but it's scary.
Patrick Bowling says he's uneasy about it.
I'm scared to death of it.
Especially in an election year, he says.
You can't trust anything and you can't believe anything.
A new survey from the company Boss Revolution captures Americans' concerns about AI. 48% say they feel less scam savvy. 1 in 3 admit it would be difficult to identify a potential scam if the scammer tried to impersonate someone they know.
Biggest danger right now is that your average American still, even if they're afraid of AI, does not know how good this technology has gotten.
Mike Kaput is with the Marketing AI Institute.
I can tell you to keep your eyes open and remain aware, but you can still get fooled very easily.
In the survey, the majority of respondents, 69%, think AI has a major impact on financial scams. AI helps scammers come up with much more convincing emails and text messages, according to Zulfikar Ramzan with the software company Aura.
Nowadays, we're seeing more and more messages with impeccable grammar, no errors, everything looks copacetic.
Kaput says AI does have risks, but it's not all doom and gloom.
Despite the scary parts of it, there's so many ways where it can vastly improve your daily life or the work that you do.
On your screen are important resources for anyone who falls victim to a scam. You're encouraged to report scams to the Federal Trade Commission, the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, the Better Business Bureau, or AARP's Fraud Watch Network. Remember, scammers are always after your money, so don't be the next target. And that way you don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. We'll see you next time.